I've been extremely fortunate. I've actually worked with some of the world's greatest costume designers. Two of those are Australian, Luciano Origi, who designed My Brilliant Career, and Janet Patterson, who designed Oscar Lucinda and The Last Days of Chez Nu. Luci was nominated for My Brilliant Career, and Janet was nominated for The Piano. They're amongst the world's best. And also in my documentary, we interviewed Colleen Atwood, who did the costumes for me for Little Women, who does a lot of Tim Burton's films and has also won the Oscar a number of times. The interesting thing about costume, and I know this as a director, people think that costume is, half the time they think the actors just turn up and what they want. They have no idea about, the hours and time that the director with the designer and then with the cast spend, deciding the simplest thing about should the button be done up or undone or the sleeve rolled up, what does that say at that moment in that character's life? And the wrong costume can ruin a scene or the film, or the wrong hair and makeup, because you're just distracted the whole time, or you're thinking, he'd never wear that, or she'd never wear that, or, a girl from the Bronx wouldn't have a coat like that. It's a thing that I still fight for in a period film. To get a costume correct in a period film, it has to start from, well, what underwear did they wear? What corsetry? It won't feel correct unless you dress that poor actor in the exact, corsetry or bras or whatever they wore at the time. That's when they'll really walk exactly like that person did in that era. People don't really think about, we are emotionally affected by colour. And there's another scene in Oscar and Lucinda with Kate Blanchett. When Kate and Ralph Fiennes, who plays Oscar, they have a scene where they make the key bet, which is about floating a glass church down a river. And they're in a cafe. And I talked early on to Janet and said, I'm going to finally play a lot of this scene in big close-ups because it's so intense. They're sort of drawn into each other's worlds. Peter's Carey's great line is one's obsessive and the other's compulsive. So it's an obsessive and a compulsive. So what Janet did so cleverly, she has the most beautiful little hat on Kate that has a pale blue band. And she knew that in the end my camera was going to come in like that. That hat is still just in the top of frame with that band, which is the absolute colour of Kate's eyes, which at that moment were really to become mad and obsessive, and was absolutely done by her the shape and the colour choice of the hat. I suppose some of that stuff I've taken for granted because, I've worked with some of the world's most amazing costume designers myself, and I've been in the room where we've been discussing how do I make Claire Danes look smaller than Winona Ryder because she's the little sister. So I know, a lot of the magic tricks that we can do with costume and camera.